Number 1. World War I helped invent modern time zones. Before the war, the world was a mess of local times. In the US alone, there were over 300 different time zones. But the Great War demanded precision. For coordinated attacks across vast distances, a universal system was crucial. In 1918, the world standardized time zones, a direct legacy of the war that reshaped how we'll live. Number 2. World War I started because of a wrong turn. The assassin's first attempt had failed. He had missed his chance to kill the Archduke and change history. But then, by a quirk of fate, the Archduke's driver made a critical error. The car stalled, directly in front of the man who had just given up. A single shot rang out. A wrong turn in a small Bosnian city had just ignited the First World War. Number 3. More soldiers died from disease than combat in World War I. You'd think the battlefield was the greatest danger, but the real killer was silent. Trench fever, dysentery, and the 1918 flu pandemic swept through the ranks like wildfire, thriving in the squalor of the trenches. For every 2 soldiers killed by bullets and bombs, 3 more fell victim to illness. Number 4. A pigeon named Cher Ami saved nearly 200 soldiers and received a military medal. In 1918, during the Meuse-Argonne offensive, 194 American soldiers were trapped behind enemy lines, surrounded and running out of supplies. Their only hope was a single carrier pigeon. His name was Cher Ami. Under a storm of bullets, he rose into the sky, carrying their last desperate plea for rescue. Despite being injured, Cher Ami delivered the message. The 194 soldiers were rescued. His bravery, Cher Ami was awarded the French Croix de Guerre, a true, feathered American hero. Number 5. World War I soldiers invented modern plastic surgery due to horrific facial injuries. Trench warfare left thousands with devastating facial wounds beyond the scope of 19th century medicine to repair. Surgeon Harold Gillies pioneered modern techniques, performing over 11,000 procedures to reconstruct faces and restore lives. Dark chapter of history gave birth to a medical revolution that continues to help millions today. Number 6. Coca-Cola helped spread globally the cause of World War II. In 1941, Coke was a popular American drink, but it was barely known outside the US. That was about to change. Coca-Cola's president promised to supply a Coke to every American serviceman, no matter where they were in the world, or just unmickled. To keep this promise, the company built 64 portable bottling plants and shipped them to the front lines from Europe to the Pacific. As a result, millions of people around the world tasted Coca-Cola for the very first time, courtesy of the American Midwestern. At the war then, Coca-Cola was a global phenomenon, all thanks to a promise to make good soldiers. Number 7. Hitler was nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize in 1939. At the time, Europe was desperate to avoid war. The Nazi regime was seen by some as a force for stability. A member of the Norwegian parliament nominated Hitler, bizarrely citing his efforts for peace through the Munich Agreement. But just a few months later, Germany invaded Poland, shattering any illusion of peace and starting World War II. Nomination was quickly withdrawn, a chilling reminder that history's greatest ironies are often born from our greatest fidders. Number 8. Japan and Russia technically never signed a World War II peace treaty. The conflict ended with the Soviet Union's invasion of Japanese-held Manchuria, but a formal peace deal was never reached. The core issue? The Kuril Islands. Japan claims sovereignty over the southernmost islands, which Russia has controlled since the war's end. This disagreement has prevented a formal peace treaty for over 75 years, leaving the two nations in a technical state of war. blasting peace remains elusive, a reminder that some chapters of history are yet to close. Number 9. The longest air battle in history happened during World War II over Britain. This was the Battle of Britain. For 112 continuous days, the skies were a battlefield. Wave after wave of enemy aircraft clashed with the RAF in a desperate fight for national survival. It was a battle fought not just by pilots, but by an entire nation united against a ruthless enemy. Defining moments of defiance that changed the course of the war and world. Number 10. British spies used Monopoly boards to smuggle escape tools to POWs. In the grim reality of German POW camps, escape seemed impossible. But help was arriving in the most unlikely of forms. Hidden within the game boxes were secret compartments filled with life-saving tools for escape. Maps printed on silk to avoid detection, compasses, and even money. All disguised as a simple game. Brilliant plan that turned a symbol of capitalism into a tool of freedom. The game was never the same. Number 11. The Nazis researched occult and supernatural powers, including Atlantis. Heinrich Himmler, leader of the SS, believed in a master Aryan race from a lost civilization. Its scholars, the Ahnenerbe, were tasked with proving the existence of Atlantis and other ancient powers. They conducted bizarre experiments, seeking to harness occult powers for warfare and world domination. A chilling chapter of history where ideology blurred with the realm of the supernatural. Number 12. World War II created the first programmable computer. In the heart of Britain, a secret war was raging. To win, they needed to crack the unbreakable code of the German Enigma machine. But manually decrypting these messages was impossible. The code changed every single day. So, they built a monster. Meet Colossus, the world's first programmable digital computer. This room-sized beast decoded Nazi communications in hours, helping to shorten the war and save millions of lives. In the ashes of war, the blueprint for every computer, smartphone, and digital device we use today was born. Number 13. Some Japanese soldiers kept fighting until the 1970s, unaware World War II had ended. This is Hiro Onoda. In 1945, he was ordered to never surrender, no matter what. He took that order very seriously. For 29 years, he'd survived in the jungle, conducting guerrilla raids and refusing to believe any reports that the war was over. It wasn't until his own commanding officer personally ordered him to stand down that he finally accepted the truth. 1974, Hiro Onoda became the last Japanese soldier to surrender, ending one of the longest and most incredible holdouts in history. Number 14. Over 18 million people died in World War II. That's a number so large, it's almost impossible to comprehend. It represents fathers, mothers, sons, and daughters. Entire families and communities erased. A generation scarred by the unimaginable cost of war. Number we must never, ever forget. Number 15. World wars reshaped the modern world map more than any other events in history. In just 4 years, a great war shattered empires that had stood for centuries, redrawing the entire continent of Europe. But the redrawing wasn't over. World War II finished the job, creating even more new nations and solidifying the modern political landscape. From the ashes of the Ottoman Empire rose the modern Middle East, with borders that still cause conflict today. The world map we know today isn't an accident of history. It's the direct result of the two most destructive wars in human history.